What is your digital identity? There are an endless amount of digital identities and tools to use. The technologies can be Twitter-based, Pinterest, Facebook, WordPress, or simple emails. Facebook and Twitter are two frequently used technologies. Facebook is the venue that I use daily. Less frequently, I visit Twitter and Pinterest. Blogging is something that I do in spurts like WordPress, and occasionally I play around with YouTube. Besides the social media technologies, I also frequently use email and texting, those on a daily basis. Real-time interactions versus asynchronous, well, this depends on the type of media and the speed in which I need the answers. For me, Facebook is not just a simple tool. It may have started out as a fun way to see what's new in the world or to easily connect with friends, but it has quickly evolved into something more. I use Facebook as a way to share and gather ideas, obviously, but I also have started using it to make my business ideas a little more visible and to attract business to my small web store. I think that using Facebook and even Pinterest to help define who I am as a person has really helped me. I am artistic, creative, a nature lover, small-scale farmer, and a gardener, and sharing the topics that I choose really illustrates my love of these things. My offline versus my online identities. They are similar in that I am a wife, a mom, a gardener, an artist, and an animal or nature lover. However, my online identity is different than my in-person identity. In person, I am a shy introvert until I am well acquainted with a person. After that, I am sometimes a sarcastic screwball with a goofy sense of humor. I am intelligent and well-spoken, but have a difficult time articulating my thoughts to others, so oftentimes I am quiet and tend to observe rather than jump into a conversation. Even if I know quite a bit about the topic, I usually stay quiet. Online, I am not at all afraid to type out exactly what I am thinking and what I feel about a topic, if I have enough information to share with others. Being online gives me the time and opportunity to think through situations and best discuss a topic with others. In-person situations can give me anxiety and cause my thoughts and speech to become garbled. Being online gives me free rein to express my identity with the general population. If I am well acquainted with a person, I do tend to be carefree and rather silly, not feeling terribly self-conscious about my circumstances, at least in person. My online presence tends to be more intellectual and analytical. I often feel much too self-conscious to hold an intense or academic conversation with others in person, even if I do know quite a bit about the subject at the time. I'm always left to wonder, do people take me seriously? Online, I really don't have that worry. Would my identity be different if we did not have all the technologies we currently have? I think it would be. I think my identity would change without all the technologies. My intellectual and analytical self would need to find another outlet, perhaps in the venue of book writing or diary keeping. Maybe I would be forced to learn to talk to others in a more cerebral fashion in order to share ideas. Ugh. My behaviors would definitely be simplified and more action-oriented rather than just tapping on a keyboard. I personally use the internet for a variety of reasons. Communication would be at the top of the list, along with gathering information. In fact, I would not be going to school right now if it was not for the internet. I personally love to learn, and the more information I can find, the better. I have hordes of books on gardening, crafting, drawing, sewing, and other hobbies, but having the internet at my fingertips makes searching for relevant information so easy, the books do tend to gather dust. Then the interesting thing about finding the information online is that I can share it almost immediately with others. Being connected by Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, etc., gives me the opportunity to connect with others with the same interests that I have within seconds. Not only communicating and sharing information, but having the ability to buy and sell items online is monumental. This has truly impacted my life and the lives of many people that I know. You can buy or sell almost anything with just a few taps on your keyboard. Personally, it has expanded my identity by giving me the ability to learn about and grow certain flowers and vegetables that are not commonly available in our local stores. Having that ability has influenced the way I shop and what I buy for myself and my family. Not just things for the garden, but clothing, electronics, furniture, pet supplies, you name it, you can find it. The simplicity and ease of all of this has expanded my knowledge of gardening and growing fruits and vegetables and all of my outward tastes immensely. So, how does technology govern, influence, or shape our identity? I think that if we have access to technology, there is little we can do to stop it from governing or shaping our identity. Sharing changes people. It changes perceptions, ideals, our consciousness, awareness, and appreciation of different things. Just like books can change our ideas on how to build a house, seeing a public post or reading a blog with photos and videos on building a house can also shape the way we look at the idea. My digital identity is part of who I am and probably influences me more than any other aspect of my life simply because it is always around me. I think that anyone who is online does put on a performance. Your online identity is very similar to a performance, but it also depends on who we want our audience to be. There is a certain freedom online. You don't have to let anyone know who you really are if you don't want to. You can go incognito, or you can be authentic to show people a side of yourself that is seldom, if ever, seen. You can express the deepest part of your soul either with strangers or with those who know you well. You can not only choose your performance status, but also the scope of your audience. And in doing this, sometimes you need an avatar. I've had an avatar in different situations. Online forums are pretty popular for avatars, and I think the identity is determined by the forum type and the kind of person I am. A gardening forum would make me use a flower avatar. A cooking forum would influence me to use a cake or cookie avatar. Different avatars for different venues. I rarely use the same across different platforms. The interaction would most likely reflect the situation, as would my behavior in the forums. And how is my identity different when I know it's public? A digital identity is basically a public identity, but one you can tweak to fit the situation or have some fun with a little more easily. A public behavior is usually real-time and visible to all. For example, it is a little strange to go dancing through Walmart on a Saturday afternoon publicly. Not unheard of, but a little strange. However, digitally, you can describe a dancing session through Walmart to make it seem as though you're having the time of your life dancing through the store freely. That would make it appear as though a person is a free spirit with no cares in the world to an online audience, when in reality, this person would never do this in public. So how does the digital identity affect your sense of a person that I am? On the other end of the spectrum, having a digital identity can also open doors and help me evolve as a person. I don't think that I could view any site that promotes digital identity without taking something away from the experience. Encouragement from online friends and communities can be helpful and spark a change in us. We are sometimes easily influenced by others as well as trends, new products, and social expectations. Because of online encouragement, I have adopted different behaviors at certain times. Communities that have support for certain issues I faced have helped me change some of my behaviors that I thought were not positive for myself or my family. Other groups have helped me become a better cook or a gardener. Groups such as Free Cycle have encouraged me to clear the clutter from my home and share with others who need the things I no longer require. Other groups have influenced me in ways that are not quite as healthy, such as shopping groups used to influence consumers to spend money on e-commerce sites. YouTube influences my behavior with its how-to tutorials, causing me to take on projects that are sometimes beyond my ability. But I'll attribute that to horizon expansion or live and learn, not a negative thing. In any event, I believe that social media has definitely expanded our social consciousness. It encourages us to see others, which causes us to also look more closely at ourselves. Digital technology is part of life for us now and part of our daily routine. It allows us to judge others while those people are also judging us, and we play our part accordingly. To be digitally accepted has become more important for many people than an in-person acceptance, simply because our audience is much larger than our personal social circles.